We've heard some disturbing rumblings from Mount Hotenau, and I don't just mean the volcano. A dwarven mining expedition led by Vandra Hillborn reports a fire giant known as Gomoth the Twisted, who seeks a primordial power he believes is buried beneath the volcano. Part of the expedition went missing while exploring Shadowfire caverns, so I need you to head to Mount Hotenau in search of them. The last time that volcano erupted, it nearly destroyed Neverwinter. We have to get to the bottom of this.
It's good to see some help. I've been trapped up here for quite a while. Fortunately for me, I always pack double rations. You need to get back to Vandra and others at the expedition camp. Tell them that this elemental was under the control of a fire myrmidon general named Ignazar. I think he's got a fortress in the burning ruins. I'm going to keep mapping out the cavern and the vent system. Darnie probably thinks I'm dead, but he was always a gloomy one.
Our expedition was a disaster, but we're not out of the fight yet. I mounted an expedition to try and reopen the old mines that exist throughout the area. Legends say that long before Mount Hotenau erupted, one of the most productive dwarven mines was located beneath here. We hope to reopen the mines to support Neverwinter's rebirth. We all knew that it was a risky proposition, but the potential rewards outweighed the danger. Or so we thought. Things went well at first, but then the fire giant Gomoth appeared. His army of elemental creatures and hordes of ashen zombies overwhelmed us. Now people are missing or dead, and the expedition is in ruins. Nox must have sent you. So Caleb and his crew are still alive? Praise Moradin. We came here looking for our history, and instead found madness and flaming death. We've done our best to monitor and disrupt Gomoth and his elemental forces, but we're miners and explorers, not adventurers. We need the help of someone as skilled as you if we're going to stop Gomoth's plans. You'd best see our stone skipper at the main camp. No, wait. What does he call himself now? A geologist? Something like that. He fancies himself a studied rock expert, but that just sounds like a stone speaker to me. In any case, head up on the path to the main camp and talk to Darnie. He can tell you a bit more of all the troubles our expedition has been facing.
Vandra has sent you my way, eh? And you're here to help deal with the fiery beasts and deviltry released upon us? By Vergerain, fortune smiles upon our pitiful expedition for once. And I'm a geologist, not a stone speaker. Just because I'm a couple of 100 years old doesn't mean I don't understand the modern lore of rocks. The pressure building under Mount Hotenau threatens another eruption, but I have a plan to stop it. The ashen zombies prowling the burning forest were once dwarven miners who dug venting shafts designed to release pressure. Some of the zombies still carry their old work orders, which can tell us where those vents were. I need you to recover some of those work orders from the ashen zombies and return them to me so that I can figure out how to vent the volcano. We've lost many of our expedition, and many more who are unaccounted for. In particular, some members of my team were sent to investigate disturbances in the charred wood, but never reported back. Should you find any sign of them, return to me. I must know what has happened to my people. Well done, adventurer. These work orders will help me piece together a map of the mines below. All of my people were murdered by Zerdel, by Moradin's hammer. I should have sent him back the moment he started muttering about voices from the deep. I hoped he was hearing the call of Gauntlgrim. Maybe that's where he fled to, but there's no time to chase him down. With my students dead, I'm gonna need help to keep this volcano from erupting. In order to stop the volcano from erupting, we need to vent the pressure. thanks to the old work orders you collected. We know where the ancient dwarves built vents. Unfortunately, most of them have been blocked by debris. I've got a crate of explosive runestones for mining here, but with my assistants all dead, I'm gonna need your help to place those charges and clear those vents. The pressure under the mountain is already subsiding. It's not a permanent fix, but it might give us enough time to stop Gometh the Twisted. And not being incinerated by a volcanic eruption is a pretty good thing, too. Our expedition teams were not the only ones hurt by the recent upheaval. We discovered nearby a dryad named Artleaf, desperately trying to keep her tree alive in the face of all this fiery destruction. We've done what we can to help her, but perhaps you can do more. You'll find her up the hill not far from our camp. You can tell by the one big tree that's not charcoal right now.
One day, my tree will be the heart of a great forest. If we live, of course. You do not seek my destruction? Apologies, traveler. I have faced many fiery foes for so long, I have begun to expect the worst of any who approach. If you are a friend of Darnay, the Waterbringer, I trust you have good intent. I am sorry. I was distracted by the warm wind. Was there something else? When Mount Houtnow erupted, all of my sisters in the forest below were burned to ash. Yet all hope is not lost, for their seeds may still lie dormant beneath their charred boughs. Please, for the sake of my sisters, could you sift through the ashes beneath the burned trees of the charred wood, and see if any of their seeds survived? Darnay has told me that the bodies of elemental monsters called flame spikers contain a very rich kind of clay that could both protect seeds and spur their growth. I hesitate to ask, but could you help me by harvesting some of this elemental clay from the flame spikers?
I do this kind
The
of stuff
clay brings
all the
hope
time.
for the seedling's return. From this handful of seeds, a new forest of my sister trees will one day grow and live again. The tree-bound thank you, adventurer. Darnay was right. This clay is warm and wonderful soil indeed. It is fitting that the elemental creatures who've caused such harm to the wood will help to grow a new forest. I wish to plant the seeds you gathered, but I am too weak to leave my tree for long. You have already helped me so much. Can I ask for your help once more to sow the first seeds of a new forest? I can feel those little seeds growing even now. Their future is uncertain here on this fiery peak, but all life is uncertain. We can only try as best we can to thrive. Thank you for giving them the chance. Thank you for everything you've done, adventurer. But you should not take root here, as the dwarves need your help. Just down the hill is a dwarven historian by the name of Thrimble. Would you speak with him? I know many things trouble him.
Yes? Ah, the Dryad sent you, did she? Kind of her to direct you my way. I can certainly use the assistance. General Ignazar's Archons will need to regroup after the blows you've dealt them. This presents us with an opportunity to gather vital information. It is my belief that Gometh seeks some source of power beneath Mount Houtnow, although I cannot say what it may be. The carvings and relics found amid these Delzoun ruins could provide vital clues, and now is the best opportunity to recover them. I'll mark the locations on your map. Let me see what you've recovered. Yes, this is very interesting. You've helped uncover some deep lore. It seems there really is some great and evil power buried beneath Mount Houtnow. Our work in these ruins has been greatly impeded by the actions of General Ignazar and his army of fire archons. The ruins serve as the battlements of a fortress, from which they send forces to attack any who oppose Gometh's plan to release their ancient master. It is time for a counterattack. Eliminating enough fire archons may give us the opening we need. Excellent. I had already deduced that you were a skilled combatant. Now the fire archons know it too. Hopefully this will give us a moment of reprieve, however slight. For that alone, you have my boundless thanks. General Ignazar commands his Fire Myrmidon army from deep within Fireguard Fortress. From that position, they can easily strike anywhere near Mount Hotenau. The need is clear. If there is to be any chance to stop Gomoth, General Ignazar and Fireguard Fortress must fall! General Ignazar served the Primordials in their war with the gods back at the dawn of time. To think I would see the day he met his end and shake the hand of the person who brought him to it. It is rare that a historian is present when history is made. Thank you for that opportunity. In cataloging the ruins the other day, I came across something peculiar. A human body far more recently deceased than one would expect to find when looking at ruins and relics of ages past. The remains bore the markings of the Ashmedai, along with a directive written in the infernal script. It charges the cultists to secure passage to the heart of the mountain, and then send word to a contact who dwells beneath the Cathedral of Helm. There, they were to arrange for an artifact known as the Hex Locust to be brought to the Hotenau. I fear that these cultists wish to harness the power of Majera in pursuit of their infernal schemes. I need you to travel to the area beneath the Cathedral of Helm and seek out this Hex Locus, defeat all who guard it, and then destroy it. Only then can we be sure that Hotenau will remain undisturbed. Ah, you have returned from the Dragon's Lair, and with your skin still intact? How delightful. I trust that the Hex Locus has been dealt with as well? You've done our expedition a wonderful service. It isn't much, but I managed to secure this reward for you. Please, take it as a token of our gratitude for dealing with the threat from the Ashmedai and the Hex Locus. With General Ignazar defeated, you've put Gomoth on the defensive. Now is the time to take the battle to him within the caldera of Mount Hotenau itself. Surveyor Beira is investigating the caldera. She thinks she can find a way into Gomoth's temple, but she'll need help.
Glad to meet you. Everyone says you can do the impossible. Let's hope the impossible's enough to stop Gomoth before he can waken the primordial under the mountain. Gomoth's goal is to free a powerful elemental being called a primordial, which he thinks is buried beneath Mount Hotenau. We need to know what his forces are planning and watch their movements. I've got some scrying orbs that'll let us spy on him, but I'm gonna need your help to place them inside the caldera. I've marked the locations on your map. Haha, that was perfect! With the scrying orbs in place, I've been able to spy on Gomoth's forces, and I might have found a way into the primordial temple, but I don't think it's gonna be easy. Gomoth is not the only fire giant who worships the primordial and seeks to free it. Among his forces are powerful giants who act as his generals and guard the caldera. You'll need to bring down some of them if you're to have any chance of getting into the temple of the primordial. You can find them around the Hotenau caldera. I heard the sound of your battles, even over the roar of the volcano. You really are as powerful as the rumors say. But if I can see that, so can Gomoth. And that is sure to hasten his plans. We need to get you into the temple soon. The scrying orbs have revealed that part of Gomoth's ritual involves focusing the power of shrines placed within the caldera. They seem to require precise alignment, so even the slightest disturbance will delay the ritual. This gives us a chance. Misalign those shrines and buy us the time we need to stop Gomoth. I'll mark the locations on your map. With the shrines out of alignment, we've delayed Gomoth's plans to awaken the primordial. Now, let's make use of that precious time. Gomoth the Twisted built his temple of the primordial with hopes of waking Majera. an ancient primordial being of fire who sleeps deep beneath Mount Hotno. We've done everything we can to delay him, but sooner or later he will succeed, unless you are brave enough to storm the temple and slay Gomoth. With Gomoth's death, you've prevented a tragedy that would have destroyed the Sword Coast and possibly ended the world. Everyone in Neverwinter owes you their life, and on their behalf, I thank you.